Hi guys, what is this? How you doing? How you doing? Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make Italian Easter cookies, also known as anise cookies, or also known as pupa con l'uovo, which means absolutely no sense because it means doll with an egg, and there are no dolls involved here. And I'm not even putting egg, the egg in the cookie because it's a waste and meh. So let me run you through the list of ingredients. These cookies are sobomb.com. You cannot even. If you like anise cookies, if you like lemon cookies, if you like Italian butter cookies, imagine all of those, but in one. So amazing. I'm gonna look at my fingers. So amazing, so delicious. You're gonna absolutely love it. And if you're not a fan of anise cookies, you're gonna love these because they're perfect. They're really good. The list of ingredients is short and sweet. You'll need all-purpose flour, salt. What I have here is vanilla powder. This is Italian vanilla and Italian baking powder. You can use baking powder, regular baking powder, and vanilla extract if you don't have that. Sugar, eggs, a little milk, some vegetable shortening, and unsalted butter, both at room temp. I need a little anise extract, a limone, and then you're gonna need a couple of ingredients to make a little glaze. Easy peasy, you cannot believe it. Preheat your oven to 375. You wanna have a baking sheet ready with some parchment paper, and I'm gonna make this in my standing mixer. Now, this is, believe it or not, half of a batch, because if I make the whole batch, I end up eating the entire thing, and then I don't like myself for a good 24 hours because I eat the entire thing of cookies. All right, so super easy. In my big bowl here, fitted with a paddle attachment, I'm going to add my shortening and my butter. You can make them with all butter, but it really makes a difference if you use the shortening, and I suggest that you do. And the sugar. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna let those mix for a good 2 to 3 minutes. It's important that those fats really get nice and creamy. So let those go, and then give them a scrape with a spatula, especially since if your mixer is so big like mine is, you're gonna need to give it a little bit of help along the way. Awesome, that's very well done. Now I'm gonna add in my eggs. I'm also gonna add in the zest of about a half a lemon. Now, truth be told, I am not really a big fan of anise or even almond extract or almond flavoring without any lemon, because I find that without it, it's way too, I'm gonna say soapy, okay? You know what I mean? Like really overwhelming, almost overly sweet flavor that it can have. That's why by adding a little lemon makes such a big difference. It really cuts that. So that's why if I'm using anise or almond extract, chances are lemon's following right alongside. Oh, I need me a knife. Hold on a second. I got a knife. I gotta cut this. Hold on. You just need about, I would say, a teaspoon of lemon. Now for the anise extract, now you know, when was the last time I measured vanilla extract? Never. But when it comes to any other extract, you must measure it because they're so strong that it can completely ruin a recipe. I think for this batch, which remember, I'm only making a half a batch on the website, there'll be a full batch recipe that you can cut in half, of course. I'm gonna be using a half a teaspoon. For the full batch, you need 1 teaspoon. If you really wanna amp up the anise flavor, if you really like it, make a full batch and add 1.5 teaspoons. So it's up to you. I think a teaspoon for a full batch or half a teaspoon for half a batch is so perfect. You get that really beautiful anise note in the background without it being overpowering. But hey, you're the boss, applesauce, you do you. So now I'm gonna just let this go for a couple of minutes as well while scraping the sides as necessary. This is what you're looking for. It looks amazing, amazing. Okay, now I'm gonna add in all of the dry ingredients. Get that bad boy in there. All right, along with a splash of milk. I'm gonna add half now and half once it starts mixing. So just gonna put this back on, and I'm just gonna knead it until the dough comes together. Like that, that's it. Look how gorgeous this dough is. I just kind of dumped the whole thing on a lightly floured surface. I've got a baking sheet here ready with some parchment paper. Oven preheated to 375. We are rocking and we are rolling. This is how easy this is. You take a piece about yay big, okay? You roll it into a long rope, not too thick, okay? And then I'll show you where the egg situation comes in if you choose to do it, okay? If you have any dyed eggs laying around, then you might want to do this. So how big do you think this is? Oh, I don't know, maybe 12 inches or so. You fold it in half, okay? And you kind of just do one of these things, okay? Pinch, pinch. And if you had the egg would go right in there. I'm not doing the egg situation because you know, here's the thing. It's cute, it really is. But as Papa Sal says, this is hysterical. Eggs and bunnies don't kind of go together. So don't put egg in my cookie. That's what he says. So I don't, but if you want to, it'll be really cute for the kids, you know. But it's just delicious this way. And I'm gonna make a glaze, and I'm gonna put some Italian sprinkles on them, just like Nonna's. And so we don't do the egg thing in our family, but you absolutely can. So I'm just gonna continue to form my cookies. So I'm just gonna do 10 for now. You can see I've got half the dough left over. I decided to make them a little bit smaller too, since I'm not putting the egg in them. So just make them more appropriate sized. You pop this into the freezer and it lasts so well for a couple of months. And then all you do is you kind of bring it out overnight, you put it in the fridge overnight and it will thaw, and then you leave it on the counter until it becomes nice and pliable, and then you can make fresh cookies. Fantastic. I'm actually going to pop this into the fridge and make cookies tomorrow, another batch. These go in my preheated oven for 15 to 20 minutes or so, or until the bottom are a lovely golden brown color. I'll show you what they look like when they are done. My cookies look perfect. They're lovely golden brown color on top. They are really, it's hard to describe them because they're quite firm like a cookie, but they're like crumbly and delicious and almost soft, like it's like a soft crumble. They're amazing in terms of their texture and their flavor. So let's make a little glaze to go over top because you have to. I've got powdered sugar in here. To the powdered sugar, I'm going to add just a smidgen of my Anise extract, not much because this stuff is so strong, and just a smidgen of lemon, about half a teaspoon, and then a little bit of water. That's it. You don't need a whole lot. And then you just take a spoon, right, and you just start mixing this, and you just kind of keep adding water until you've got a nice pourable glaze-like consistency. Oh, it looks great. You want it nice and thin because you're just going to do a drizzle, and then this is what you do. I have my cookies over top of a cooling rack that's sitting on top of a parchment paper lined baking sheet, because that way I don't have to clean it. Just throw away the parchment paper and you're good. And you just take your glaze, which is really nice and thin, which is how you want it to be, right? You do one of these, and then as it sets, it's fantastic. It gives you a little extra sweetness. You can also use a brush, like a pastry brush, but look, it just comes out perfect. And then I just take some Italian little confetti, right? These are little Italian ones that I get when I go to Italy, and they will sit there and stick to the glaze. And that's it. I'm going to continue to decorate each one. Are these not the cutest thing you've ever seen in your entire life? They're so cute. I should let the glaze set, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna go for this guy right here. My word. That crumb in there. That's the bee's knees. Delicious. Not overly sweet at all. Just perfection. I mean, honestly, if you want an Anise cookie that's not over the top, you have to try this one. Go to laurainthekitchen.com for the written recipe. I hope you enjoy spending time with me. Please make these for Easter. I promise you they'll become a new favorite, a new tradition that your family will adore. I hope you've seen it. Hope you enjoy spending time with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.